Hello everyone, welcome back to the 3D Compute Manager at Strong Compute. I've got a new feature that I'm ready to show you guys, and it's a work in progress, but I think it looks pretty cool so far. So we're working on something called blueprints. So in the real world, when you're setting up your infrastructure, you're not going to be directly creating real computers. You can't just like digitally, not yet at least, press a button and have something materialize for you. One day, but we're not quite there yet. So in the meantime, you want to be able to create a blueprint of what assets you want and then have Strong Compute fulfill them for you. So that's exactly what we're setting up here. You can now create some blueprint regions just like that. Right now I've got them as a blue wireframe above your real stuff. And the cool thing about these blueprints is that when you set up some clusters and some agents in there, some nodes that you would like to have, the system is going to start automatically creating them for you and fulfilling those orders. So you can see these nodes are now popping up as Strong Compute goes out and finds the resources that you need. And these correspond one-to-one with these blueprints. So if we click on the region, we can see that this region is corresponding to this blueprint here. So you've asked for a cluster that has 8 GPUs per node. We've gone and found a cluster with those exact specs for you. And each of these agents will also correspond to a node that you've defined here. So it's an agent running on a node out in the real world. We've also got the space corresponding here. But these spaces, you can kind of move your nodes between them as you wish.
Very cool. All right. So behind the scenes, the intention here is that we have a blueprint. We have the intention to create a region, the intention to create a cluster, set up some compute. And then by creating that intention, that blueprint, we're then given an ID, which will be to correspond with that blueprint. So that way, the system can automatically try to use that ID to go and start real compute and embed that ID into the monitoring systems on that compute. Or if the system's not going to start it automatically, a user could go and manually create or launch some compute and embed the cluster ID in that compute, and then that will then map it to that intention. So we can see plan at the top, reality at the bottom. So in future, we'd expect to see blueprints corresponding to all of the real assets, because presumably you would have some plan or you would like all the real stuff that you have to have been intended to exist, and not just sort of someone went out and turned a bunch of compute on because they felt like it.
Yeah.
And that you would be able to see any discrepancies. So if you had the intention for some amount of real compute to exist and there was a different amount, there was an under provision or an over provision, that would all become very obvious to you. So that's the intention here on the blueprints. Thanks, Sander.
No worries.